In this video, we're fitting a flexible solar panel to a micro camper van. This is another video in my mini-series converting my friend's Fiat Doblo into a micro camper van. I'm not an expert at this stuff, but from researching online, it does seem like the best way of fitting a flexible solar panel is using a polycarbonate layer. A polycarbonate layer is basically just a sheet of plastic that is about 4 to 6 millimeters high that has loads of little vents going through it, because that would let your solar panel stay cool and operate at maximum efficiency. But when you're building a micro camper van, you want everything to be as small as possible, and you're not going to have a million accessories drawing hundreds of amps. So we decided to stick it directly to the roof ridges, and we live in England. It started raining, so we went to an underground car park, where I started by drilling a hole for the solar cables to go through. Once the hole was in, I filed all the edges, then added a rubber grommet so it wouldn't strip the cables. The solar connectors weren't going through the hole, so I chopped them off. Then I put the solar cables through the cable gland so I knew exactly where it was going. I then added multiple layers of Sikaflex to the cable gland, and I realised this was a bad idea because when I got to the front, the cables were in the way. Once I pushed it down, I also realised the cables were adding a certain amount of upward force and wasn't going to let it dry correctly, so I had to unscrew everything and remove the cables. Next, I cut strips of mastic tape to length where the flexible solar panel wasn't going to be touching the roof directly. Because, like when we were fitting the roof vent, it needs a completely flat surface, but the roof is full of ridges. So the masking tape is going to go along and in between the ridges, so the solar panel has a completely flat surface to stick to. Once all the mastic tape was laid out, we added Sikaflex to the contact points to stick the solar panel down, basically. We used mastic tape to block out the front, but we left it open at the back so the air can get underneath and help dispel some of the heat. To finish off, we added Sikaflex to the edges, putting a nice healthy dollop down and then smoothing it off so it looks nice and neat. But Sikaflex can take up to 12 hours to dry, and Sian was driving home that night, so we covered it in tape to make sure it didn't fly off on the motorway. And that's your lot for this video. Not the best filming I've done, but the car park we were in only had a 3-hour time limit. It's going to be really interesting to see how much power this generates, because this was one of the cheap flexible solar panels from eBay. It's 100 watt, and I think it was about 45 quid. So in the next video, we're gonna do the electrics and see if it actually works. See you later.